Hey guys, Aaron here, Melody behind the camera.
Hello.
Welcome to House of Haha and another edition of Game Night. How this works is Melody has pre-written out some questions she's going to ask me. I'm going to answer them and get points that'll be worth absolutely nothing. So, let it begin.
There's 4 questions worth 25 points apiece, and technically if you get more than 50 you win, right? Because that leaves the rest for me, so if you get less than 50 you lose.
I win a pizza. That's what I want.
Yeah, you got a pizza last time. Alright, so this game, today's exciting game, is called Deep Thoughts. Childhood edition.
Oh, Jesus.
Alright.
Okay.
So question number 1. What is your first memory?
My first memory, and as far as when I've dated it, I think it was midway in 1978. And I think at my grandmother's house, and I'm playing with someone's Star Wars toys. And I remember it was like the land speeder, and I remember like 3PO because it was so gold and shiny. So my very first memory that I can recollect back to is playing with Star Wars action figures. And I know it had to be 1978 because the movie came out in 77. The toys didn't get released till 78 because they weren't in production yet for Christmas time. So I was at least 1.5 years old, maybe 2. That's my answer.
All right, well, I can't really take away any points based on any of that. So full credit.
All right.
25 points, you're halfway there. Or almost. All right, question number 2.
Okay.
Oops, you went dark. What is your biggest childhood fear?
All right. Well, there's 2 because you were looking for 1. It's either sharks or it's volcanoes, is what I was gonna say. I'm gonna guess you're gonna probably go with sharks because I was a child who saw Jaws, back in the late 70s, and living in California, my parents went to the coast often, and I would go, and there were like parts there to say no swimming, great white feeding area, during a certain time of the year because of the seals and things like that. And so in my brain, I correlated like that movie and this reality situation. I'm like, oh shit. And as a result of that, I became extremely terrified of sharks. And the pretty much the apex of that is when I don't know, I had to be maybe 3.5 years old, something like that. And my mom had put me in the bathtub, and then she put like toys in there with me. And one of the toys was a little rubber shark, and she threw that inside the tub. And I freaked. I remember screaming. It's gonna eat me, it's gonna eat me, it's gonna eat me. I was like trying to crawl up the side of the bathtub and like get into the shower area. And my mom, somewhere between shock and like ridiculous laughter, and like pulls the shark out and stuff. So I'm gonna say that's probably the answer. It's gonna be shark.
Were you not afraid that your mother would then be eaten?
I guess I really was. It was more of a sense of self-preservation against that little rubber shark at the time. I didn't think about mom. She was the protector. It also resulted later on when I became very nervous to use toilets because there could be sharks in the toilet.
Never can tell.
No. Anyway, that's my answer, sharks.
Well, I have to give you credit for that one. You made me look. That wasn't what I thought you were going to say.
Was it gonna be volcanoes? Were you thinking volcanoes?
No, but it's fine. You get full credit.
Can I ask what you thought?
I thought it was going to be like falling over heights. But then I really wasn't thinking back, I guess, far enough.
That was something, yeah, and I developed a phobia of heights above water because I fell down a cliff near a creek as a kid. All right.
So, this deep thoughts game is like not as much right or wrong. It's just what you're like digging into.
It's more revealing. It's like a Rorschach.
Okay. What was the first lie you ever told? Like, I don't want to tell. They'll catch me.
First lie? Oh, man, I don't know. What would be the first lie I told? I was a very honest child.
That's the first lie you've ever told.
I the furthest one I can think back to. This is good. I haven't obviously told that many lies, so I'm having difficulty recollecting them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, maybe like when I had to be like 8, and I know I had to lie about something before I was 8 years old. But I remember like, oh wait, no, I do remember. Okay, this might be it. I was in kindergarten, and this was back in the very early 80s. And at that time, there was things called pocket racers or wrist racers. And it was like a watch you put on and a little bubble on it. And you flipped it open, and there was like a ramp popped out, and a car would go, and you could like little tiny cars off your little wrist racer. And the neighbor kid, the apartments we lived at, had one. And I guess it was my first time stealing something and lying about it. And I got in a lot of trouble afterwards when I got found out. But I remember it was a Dukes of Hazzard. It was the General Lee was the car that I ended up taking from that neighbor kid. So that was probably it. Wow, you made me dig deep in that one. I had to go through the files and go back on that one. So I mean, maybe kindergarten age, and I stole something from a neighbor kid, and I lied to my parents about it, and that was probably the worst trouble I ever got in trouble for, like as a kid, for doing something like that. I never stole again, and I guess I just got better at lying.
Oh God.
I didn't steal anymore though.
All right. Well, yeah, 20 points. I'm taking away 5 because you stole.
I already got a punishment for it. It was like 35 years ago.
All right. Well, you're still at 70 points, so you technically already won. All right. Last question.
Okay.
What is the most important lesson you ever learned from your mother?
Most important lesson I ever learned from my mother. That's don't steal. Although my father-in-law taught me that one. I mean, that's a tough one because she was a good teacher, and she passed along, I feel, it was a lot of good stuff. I think the thing my mother has taught me from a younger age, and still as an adult, and it's something I'm obviously, she still says it, so I probably haven't fully grasped it yet, is the idea of forgiveness. Maybe in that, like, some people are a certain way, and sometimes you have to accept that and don't expect more from them, and you kind of won't get let down, sort of. That sounds bad saying it that way. Like, I'll give you an example. Like my biological father, what he would do things and treat us, and his inconsistencies and things like that. And I would get upset from a young age, all the way into an adult. And my mother's answer would always be the same, going, that's how he is. You know, you can't expect him to be different than that. It's just going to hurt you. Does that make sense?
I guess so.
Maybe go deep on that one. This is you definitely got into the files, maybe go deep in my brain. So, how did I do? Did I win?
Yeah, I'll give you full credit for that, I guess. Good job. Just for your mom, though. I'm not going to insult your mom by taking away points on her lesson.
Pizza.
Your mom probably does want you to.
All right, so this was game night. Deep thoughts. Hope you liked it. Got more things like this coming up. So check it out, man. And as always, have a reasonable day.